Celebrating Perez. Congratulations, Perez. I am so excited for you. The news has just come out that Perez Hilton is released from his subpoena by Blake Lively. What does he call her? Plantation princess? He's officially released from it. Guys, I apologize if my video is not that great. I was in a rush to get this for you guys, and I couldn't get my camera to work. I had taken it apart, and now it's not working. So we're just going to run with a basic bitch camera. But to celebrate Perez, he has a letter on the docket just now. Respondent Blake Lively's notice of withdrawal of subpoena to third-party Perez Hilton. Respondent and cross-movement Blake Lively respectfully files this notice to inform the court that she's withdrawing the subpoena she served on third-party Mario Lavandera Jr., Perez Hilton, in connection with Lively versus Wayfair Studios. The defendant in the underlying litigation produced more than 80,000 pages of material on the evening of September 8th, 2025, in response to an order compelling them to produce certain categories of documents, including communications with content creators who seeded, generated, or created or influenced social media or provide related digital or social media services directly or indirectly at their request. While counsel for Ms. Lively continues to process and review the newly produced materials, it now is clear that the production includes communications that would be responsive to the subpoena. Ms. Lively always has sought to receive discovery directly from parties, including by filing multiple motions to compel the production of documents known to exist, and is pleased that those efforts have resulted in a production of responsive documents that obviates the need to seek additional documents from Mr. Hilton or further relief from the court. Accordingly, Ms. Lively is withdrawing the subpoena and respectfully submits that the pending motion to quash and cross motion to compel are moot and warrant dismissal. First of all, we just had to be in a moment of celebration. We have to be in a moment of celebration over Perez Hilton. This is absolutely amazing. I just remember when the Google subpoena was released for me, or withdrawn, I guess is the official name of it. It felt like a weight was taken off my shoulders and my chest, even though I knew I did nothing wrong, even though I knew I wasn't involved in any way in the way Blake was making it out to be. It just felt like, oh, I could finally breathe again. And you know, I've talked about this from the beginning of this channel. I followed Perez from the time I was a teenager, been a big fan. We have supported him 100% every step of the way throughout this and through all of his filings. So Perez, we are sending so much love from me, the animals at the Farm Animal Sanctuary, and Team Ashley Investigates, and the whole community. We love you. We support you. We are celebrating you. I wish I could have like a cake with you. Maybe I'll have a cake over the next couple days, over this weekend, just to celebrate you. I'll take pictures. But we just love you, Perez. Congratulations, my friend. It is so well deserved. And I just can't wait to see what's next. I am so proud of you standing up for justice. I'm so proud of you for fighting for what's right. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for speaking to Judge Lyman about what she was doing to all content creators. You put yourself on the line for us, and I genuinely appreciate it. And I saw you, and I saw that. And thank you. I'm so happy for you. And I believe Perez is celebrating on his channel right now. I didn't want to go live. I have this little nugget of time where I could do a video, and I didn't want to go live because I didn't want to interrupt his live stream celebrating. I believe he says that it is the ACLU that helped him with this victory, which is incredible. So make sure to go support him. And having been personally subpoenaed by Blake Lively and had Ezra & Co. manipulate the facts in their filing to the court after dropping the subpoena, I want to address this because I have personal experience with this. I believe I was targeted because of my PR work. They have been targeting Blake's team since my work with Nick Shapiro and exposing Black Box. They've targeted me in hit pieces, specifically the Glamour Mommy Sleuths, MAGA Mommy Sleuths, not even American. I don't even have kids. And I've been a target of Blake Lively's team for quite some time. I was still shocked when I got a subpoena. However, through the help of other content creators, Leanne Newton is a good friend of mine. I love her to bits. She helped me write my motion to quash. Blake pulled the same crap with us, although she didn't take it this far. As soon as we filed the motions to quash, Blake Lively then withdrew the subpoenas. And what happened was they were going to withdraw it, but they wanted to meet and confer. They wanted us to get on the phone with them or on Zoom. And I had sent an email back to Ezra and I said, no, I don't trust any of you. I don't trust that you're not going to manipulate what I have to say. I don't trust you're not going to twist what I say. You want me representing myself to get on a Zoom call with 4 lawyers from Manette? No, I refused to meet with them. They then, about me and 5 other content creators, and I know each one individually, many of which I call my friends. She put a letter like this on the docket where she said that she had met and conferred. She had met and conferred with 2 content creators' lawyers, not anyone listed in the letter. And she said she got everything she needed from us, or there's nothing more she needs from us. She got nothing. My motion to quash said nothing that I had not been claiming publicly the entire time. The entire time I'd said I'd not been paid. The entire time I'd said I'd not been contacted. You can find content of mine all 2025. In fact, my original content of Blake Lively at the end of 2024 in the New York Times article, I was supporting Blake. There was nothing new that they received from me. But what happened was Blake Lively's side and supporters were taking that verbiage and running with it. Blake's supporters started running with this idea. See, they turned something over. Does it not sound like what they did here to Perez? It says here that they received 80,000 pieces of content and documents from Wayfair about content creators who seeded, generated, or created or influenced social media. And they say, we don't need anything now. We got it from Wayfair. We know who's seeded. This is the same bull they tried with me. This is the same bull they tried with other content creators. And I show you guys the emails and everything in previous lives. I read my motion to quash in previous videos. This is the same thing they tried. Do not allow them to manipulate you to believe that this means that they have proof now that he seeded, generated, or created media at the behest of Wayfair. Perez Hilton was very publicly for Blake Lively in the beginning. That is very important to look at the verbiage here. And it pisses me off because in my letter to the judge, which likely went nowhere, I imagine he didn't even read it. Sorry, I'm going to move my camera a little bit, guys. We don't have a fancy setup here. We're just basic bitch at this end of the interwebs. In my letter to the judge, I said they twist facts for PR. They twist facts to control narratives, and they use the court docket to control the narrative. And yet they're continuing to do it. So please do not take this as it is confirmation he generated anything, that they got anything in regards to what they wanted. In my opinion, this is saving face. And maybe, who knows? Perez is the only one that can or will answer that. Maybe he reached out for comment and they see that. That's still not seeding or generating information. I just want it to be so clear that we have to be careful with the words they use, because for me, they did this exact same thing. And speaking about paying attention to words, we are going to flip over to Taylor Swift's letter to the judge through her lawyers at Venable. And I have to admit, I am not overly impressed. And this kind of does give the energy of Taylor saving herself. Now, Taylor is notorious for wanting to stay out of drama, and I don't blame her. She has a brand that is so on lockdown. The PR, the marketing, the branding, everything is such in a lockstep that I don't blame her for wanting to stay out of shit. You don't want any crack in that brand. It is a machine at this point with a lot of people that rely on their livelihood with Taylor Swift staying at the level Taylor Swift is at. I don't blame her. Genuinely, I don't blame her wanting to stay out of things. And yet this is the letter that just hit the docket. So this is from Venable. Douglas Baldridge says, Dear Judge Lyman, Venable LLP represents non-party Taylor Swift. I'm writing in response to the letter from counsel for Wayfair delivered to the court yesterday, docket 757. As counsel for the parties know, since the inception of this matter, we have consistently maintained that my client has no material role in this action. Further, my client did not agree to a deposition, but if she is forced into a deposition, we advised, after first hearing about the deposition just 3 days ago, that her schedule would accommodate the time required during the week of October 20th if the parties were able to work out their disputes. We take no role in these disputes. Number one, I find this, I'm going to be honest, disingenuous. Because from what we know, someone from Taylor Swift's camp, and they've never denied it. Taylor Swift's camp has never denied it. Went over to Wayfair to let them know that Taylor had been extorted by Blake Lively. It came out later that it was allegedly Taylor Swift's father that had done this. There's been no denial from what I can find from Taylor's camp. There was a subpoena, and then they dropped the subpoena. And that was a subpoena of Venable, not Taylor Swift herself. And they had left the door open that they have the right to subpoena her again in the future or depose her. And the thing that just feels so disingenuous for me is from the inception, we've said that she has no material role in this action. Yet we know that Blake Lively continuously brought up her name. She showed up in text messages around this. Blake Lively is the one that dragged Taylor Swift into this initially. And then also, well, then I'd like to know what is going on in regards to someone reaching out to Wayfair to say that she had been extorted by Blake Lively. Because again, there's been no denial of that. So that's the first part that doesn't sit right with me. And I'll be honest, this feels a little bit more like a PR statement than it does a legal filing. And second, it says she did not agree to a deposition, but if she's forced one, she will do one. Which to me, it feels like you've agreed. That, well, I'm not agreeing, but if I have no other choice, I will do it. That seems a little bit contradictory to me. And I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around that. Now, they are saying the first hearing about it was 3 days ago. I'm sure we'll hear from, well, maybe not, hear from Wayfair's side in regards to that. They are claiming it was just 3 days ago. We saw the email in the last live we did. It is timestamped, so it's 2.5 hours long, but we saw in the timestamped live that we just did that apparently Blake's side was aware that Taylor would be deposed. The original date was September 22nd. So again, I find it hard to believe, like what is going on, basically, is what I want to say. What is going on? Because Blake's side is saying September 22nd, she was supposed to be. Wayfair is saying, we've confirmed it's the 20th to 25th. And Taylor's side is like, well, like, she doesn't really want to do it, but like, if she has to, she will. You know, I don't know what she has to show you guys. And we just found out about this. I feel like we have 3 different sides and no one is in alignment with what's going on here. Now, if they did just tell her 3 days ago, I don't agree with that. And then they said her schedule accommodated the October 20th to 25th. So again, seems like that's in alignment with what Wayfair is saying is the 20th to the 25th. So that is correct. I honestly, guys, I think more than anything, and this is something I was talking about with a really good friend of mine, a friend of the channel. Hello, you know who you are. I love you. We were talking about this, and I honestly think it just comes down to Taylor needs to keep her side of the street clean, to use her own words, honestly. And I don't blame her in many ways. This isn't something you want to be dragged into. I don't doubt it that she's like, I don't want to, but if I have to, because that'd probably be me too. And this is what I've stood by all along. If Taylor Swift knew, I'm sorry, I don't believe it. You will not convince me that they were best friends for 10 years and Taylor knows nothing that can support either side. I don't believe it. I simply don't believe it. You mean to tell me your best friend that's in the same industry as you didn't talk about anything to go along with this film? Taylor didn't promote this film. Her song is in this film. It Ends With Us. She didn't promote it, but she promoted Deadpool in her stories. That doesn't seem shady to anyone. She promoted the bestie's husband, but not the bestie. When her song's in It Ends With Us, something doesn't add up. And I genuinely believe the two options here are either Taylor knew Blake was SH'd, knew she was mistreated on set, knew that she was concerned about what was happening, and threw her friend under the bus to save herself the bad headlines, distanced herself from the mother of her grandkids, her godkids, to save herself. That's option 1. Option 2 is she knows nothing happened, and then she's not speaking up for Justin either. And for someone that used to promote taking a stand and using your voice, This is the problem I personally find with Taylor's brand right now. It's become so much of a corporation, and it's a personal brand, so she is the face of it. She's the voice of it. It's become so much of a corporation, you're losing the heart of what made Taylor Taylor. You're losing the heart of what made people fall in love with her and the brand. And so even the pieces you get of her are highly curated. The windows you get into her life, like even the podcast with Travis and his brother, I can't think of his brother's name off the top of my head. You best believe her team had final say on what was filmed, on what was able to be promoted. 100% it would have gone through her team. So, well, yes, it was fun and it was lighthearted and you got to see a glimpse into Taylor. It was 100% through the lens of what her team would have said is okay to put out. So it was still curated. And it just feels like all of the things Taylor fought for. What happened to being a voice? For either your friend that was SH'd or for someone that's being falsely accused. And I'm not comfortable with either. I'm not comfortable with staying silent if you knew your best friend was uncomfortable, because then where have you been for Blake? If all of this, if Taylor's known all along that Blake was mistreated and she hasn't said something, that is on her heart and soul and what she's going to need to deal with when she leaves this earth one day, because that's not good karma to carry with you. So either she's not standing up for a friend that was actually mistreated because she doesn't want bad headlines, or she's not standing up for someone that's being falsely accused because she doesn't want bad headlines. But this is more and more feeling like corporate PR from Taylor. And that makes me sad, because every time I start getting into it and being like, yes, damn it, I'm a Swiftie, you got me, something like this happens. And hey, if she knows Blake was mistreated, girl, say something. And if you know Justin was mistreated, say something. Take a stand. Take it. What if you stand for nothing? Who are you? What do you stand for? Or are you just a product now? Has the brand become so much of a product that you're not allowed to stand for anything because you don't want to upset either side of the fandom? You need to walk the line. And that's heartbreaking. It's genuinely heartbreaking, because that is definitely going to turn the headlines. And actually, they already have. Let's pull them up quick. We'll get this video up quick for you guys. And then I have to get ready to go hang out with my friend Lauren. It's already shifting the headlines. Billboard, Taylor Swift has not agreed to be deposed in Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni lawsuit. I knew you were trouble. No proof. Taylor Swift agreed to deposition. And I don't think she's necessarily supporting Blake Lively with these headlines. I think she's supporting Taylor Swift. I think she keeping her side of the street clean, I think, has become a different meaning as her brand has grown. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. I'm disappointed, but let's hang on to that big win from Perez Hilton, because we could all use the big wins. All right, guys, I love you. Thank you for being here. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.